Mr. President, the duty of political practitioners, especially those who are blessed enough to sit in the lower house and the upper house, is to seek to solve problems. And in seeking to solve problems, they have conversations and debate as it relates to their perspective of the problems that we face. It is for this reason, Mr. President, that I am a proponent and an advocate for mathematics, because mathematics is the training of the brain in logical thinking and problem solving. One of the problems we have in our country today is because of the lack of appreciation of mathematics and the lack of training of the brain to solve problems at both the individual level and it goes all the way to the national level. When you look at our passes in mathematics, it shows us that when you reach to the problem Olympics, many of us will not be able to win a medal because we have not trained. Sometimes, Senator Hill, I hear people say Bolt run 9.6 seconds or less than 10 seconds and make billions of dollars. But Bolt trained himself for many, many years, trained his body to react and respond in speed maintenance and in endurance and all these things. But if you trained your muscles to improve, how can we not accept you can train your mind to improve? But because we seem to accept Jamaica no problem, we have not been willing to continuously train our people and ourselves of how to solve problems. I don't know if you're informed, Senator Webby, based on the way the media operates. You know, every Tuesday I have free maths classes on internet, Instagram, every Tuesday, 2 hours. And if I'm not available on a Tuesday, Thursday, anybody who wants to sign on, sign on. I know you might not have heard because it didn't come in the media. But a league conversation came every day in the media. I also make myself available to many schools. I just go to a school, call the principal, go to the school and teach mathematics. Because I feel if we train our people to solve problems, we will have less of all the negatives that we face. Now, one of the bases of problem solving, therefore, is knowledge seeking. And how you come to solving this problem is going to be dependent on how you perceive knowledge, how you perceive truth. Because knowledge and information are different in that knowledge is based on truth and information can be truth or lies, but knowledge is based on truth. So how you perceive truth is an important ingredient in how you seek knowledge, and how seeking knowledge is an important ingredient in how you solve problems. Now let us look at how I perceive truth. And these are paradigms, Senator Dr. Morris. These are facts that have been established within methodology, how you perceive truth. I perceive first that truth is singular. There are others, Senator Morris, that believe that truth is multiple, that you have your own truth, that there's multiple truths. These people are what you call interpretivists. Yes. But me, coming from a paradigm of positivism, believe that there is one truth, a single truth, and that truth can be found through scientific methods. That I don't need to go and dig into emotions and feeling at the time, that by rules of science, I can go and find that truth. And so, when I come to the debates in a commitment to problem solving, I come here both to give and to seek knowledge based on my assumptions that the contributions are based on truth. Now, to my chagrin, to my dismay, to my disbelief, in watching a part of this debate, seeking to contribute, thank you, to this debate, I heard in an effort to suggest that my opinions have changed, in an effort to suggest that my statements are now motivated by things other than the truth. A particular senator suggested that he was surprised by a statement that I made, that the Prime Minister in his statement was hypocritical in what he said, in my opinion, and was incorrect in his analysis that music, in particular dancehall, was a contributor to crime and criminal activity. To that extent, the Senator Sinclair, stated that I had signed a document and that I could have chosen to sign the minority report. I have here in front of me, sir, the document, the report on the Joint Select Committee to consider and report on the bill shortly entitled the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organization Act. And the signatories here, sir, include then Honorable Lisa Hanna, then Honorable Peter Bunting, Damon Crawford, Honorable at the time, Richard Parchment, Olivia Babsy Grange, Mark Golding, Norman Grant, Wentworth Sceffrey, Alexander Williams, former JP Senator, and Senator Tom Tavares Finson. And those signatories, I will look again.
Who was the last name you called?
Senator Tom Tavares Finson. Oliver Babsy Grange. So where was this minority report, and who signed that one? But they were correct in signing this report, sir, because the same report highlighted that after multiple conversations, Section 15 was deleted from the bill. And it goes further to say Section 16 will now be termed Section 15 because Section 15 was being removed from the bill. Now, make a look at truth. Because Senator Tom Tavares Finson at the time was present, he knows how strident I was. He knows how strident I was. And so I draw upon the minutes of the meeting dated November 28, 2013. I was a member of the People's National Party, but I was free to speak my mind because I signed no letter. I signed no letter. I was present at this meeting. This was the last meeting or the second to last meeting before the report. Present at this meeting. Honorable Peter Bunting, Honorable Damon Crawford, Senator Sophia Fraser-Binns, the Honorable Mark Golding, Olivia Babsy Grange MP, Mrs., Senator Norman Grant, Mr. Richard Parchment, Senator Wentworth Sceffrey, and Senator Alexander Williams. I will speak to some of the interventions that were made on Section 15. On Section 15, I see no record of interventions made by some of those names that he claimed had lobbied. That Mr. Sinclair, Senator Sinclair claimed had lobbied. I see no mention. But I see here, the chairman said that Member Crawford had been citing some studies that he said showed that there was no link between music promoting violence and violence, and perhaps he could assist the committee with providing these references. Member Crawford said there were suggestions that there was a correlation between violent media and violence, but various studies showed that that correlation was not one of causality. He said the concept of media intake could not be restricted to one activity, and therefore violent media was beyond dancehall music. Another statement. Member Crawford stated that it must be made clear that the song or the media containing the endorsement would lead to the action if this was to be accepted. He referred to a number of studies further and stated again, he said that research showed that violent music in particular was more of an escape for persons who wanted to perceive violent actions. The chairman stated that he did not wish for Member Crawford to go further with his references to the studies that showed that there was no correlation between violent media and violent music. Member Crawford stated that there was a list of songs that was presented to the committee, and he would like for the committee to identify within the list which songs spoke to pertaining to particular activity of criminal benefits and which songs were used to suggest violence in totality. This is the list that Senator Sinclair incorrectly suggested that the government requested. And this list that was presented, 103 songs, the minutes indicate that the police themselves said that only a handful of these songs really reflected what they were seeking to analyze within this bill. It is not indifferent from the statement Senator Sinclair made about gangster musicians getting a headline in the newspaper. A headline, I need to find that one. In the newspaper, saying that there are musicians who are the face of gangs. And I'm sure him can find one, I'm sure him can find two. But where, they soon come to that, where they said that there's over 200 gangs, I am sure that the senator cannot identify 20 musicians who are the faces of those gangs to say materially. But he wanted to just make a point that he went on to do. It says, Member Crawford said that he was saying that the approach of the committee must be objective must state the objective before the strategy. And further, Member Crawford said that in the committee, a while ago I heard that he saw no evidence of my lobby. This is evidence. This is evidence. This is the minutes of the Joint Select Committee that he highlighted I was a part of. If he wanted to know what my interventions were, he should have gone and looked into the minutes. Who did get mentioned in that report? Nobody got direct mention in that report, right? It says the opponents are the opposition to the point. It says the opponents are the opposition. We have it here. Come now. He opined that clause 15, this is Senator Crawford once again, was an attack on lyrics and not an attack on gangs. Member Crawford asked to be told of the number of songs, and they said only a handful. He asked for the technical persons in the committee, and multiple. The chairman asked Member Crawford if he would not call informers a particular group, and it continued. So strident was my representation that on the 8th of November 2013, the Gleaner newspaper had a headline, Crawford defends dancehall against anti-gang law. The Gleaner had that headline. Huh? You say you do your research? You do your research. Let us go further. It says, Junior Minister of Tourism Damien Crawford has indicated that the world record holder of an athletic superstar would have been in trouble with the law if Gaza was deemed a gang under the proposed anti-gang. That is in the newspaper. No, I never interrupt you.
No, you can't tell me to sit down, Senator Brown.